Good evening, Internet. Welcome to episode 295 of the Comic
Wow.
Watchers Show. He's Chad. Welcome back, sir, for
Oh yeah, for another go round.
another go around. He's still putting up with me, and I'm Matt, and this is our silly show where we talk about comics. So
You're still
this
showing
week,
up, so
yeah, hey, you and me both. This week we have a very special creator with us named Owen Ratliff. He has created a cross-media franchise that is currently kickstarting, and we'll get into all that as we go, called Black Salt. It is an Afro martial arts bonanza, for lack of a better word, for fans of things like Afro Samurai and the like. So, Owen, welcome.
Yes, how you guys doing today?
We are wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
hanging out with us.
Yes.
and we hear that this is your first time. It's only up from here.
Yes, most assuredly. So, so Owen, before we get like way crazy into Black Salt, because there's a lot of ins and outs that I want to get to with that. Tell us a little bit about yourself as a creator and as a fan, and how you got started in with your love of comics.
Well, I started in the music business.
Mhm.
I'm from Compton, California. I grew up with Dr. Dre and Eazy-E and Suge Knight and all of those guys. And
I think I've heard of them before.
Yes.
you heard of it? And then I moved to Columbus, Ohio, and I developed a record label, and I sold 2 million copies independently.
Oh wow, that's
And
incredible.
and then I worked on soundtracks. I worked on the Blade soundtrack, the Bullworth, Better Way to Die, Faking the Funk. I got some gold and platinum plaques on the wall.
Wow.
So then after that, I shot a lot of music videos and stuff like that. So I met my mentor, Al Slater. He was working for Sony. So he said, "Man, your music videos look so good." He said, "Let me teach you the movie business." So I ended up going into the movie business, where I shot a couple of movies. So Black Salt, I got tired, when I was in the rap game. I got tired of every time you see a young black man, they thought he had to be selling dope. So I wanted to create a superhero or a positive role model character.
Mhm.
And since, when I was young, I was into martial arts. I wanted him to be a martial artist from Shaolin Kung Fu, because I was always mystified by the Shaolin Temple. So I wrote, the first movie script, and, I needed a lot more rewrites on that. So I said, you know what, I'm going to take this script and I'm going to turn it into a comic book series. So I turned it into a comic book series, and then I shot a 30-minute proof of concept. I entered it into the Urban Action Showcase, which was sponsored by HBO. And I won first prize out of 300 films. And I got a licensing deal on HBO for 26 months.
That's incredible.
And
Congratulations.
it blew. It was doing really, really well. And I even had some investors that wanted to do the feature. And right when it came off HBO, my mother wasn't feeling too good, so I took her for her checkup, and they said she had cancer.
Oh no.
So I put the project on the shelf at that time, and everybody was calling for the feature.
Yeah, of course.
So I told everybody, don't call me no more. I said, this is her time. I have to put it on the shelf. So it sat on the shelf for 5.5 years, because I became her caregiver until she passed away. I mean, I laid in the bed when she took her last breath.
Wow.
So about I say about 1.5 years ago, I took it off the shelf, and I started developing the feature. So I have the feature all developed and everything, and I have a couple investors that are interested. So with the comic book, I had did 1 through 4 because it was a 6 issue series.
Right.
So I did 1 through 4, but 5 and 6, I already had the script written. So what I'm doing now, this crowdfunding, I'm going to do issue 5 and 6.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to have stretch goals because I want to, I got a really good artist. I want to take the first 1 through 4 and redo it with this artist because he's going to do 5 and 6.
Okay.
And then I want to turn it into a graphic novel.
Mhm.
So that's kind of what my plan is turn that into a graphic novel and continue on with the feature film. And then I'm going to release the DVD and the mini feature. I'm
That's
gonna
ambitious.
read
Say the least.
yeah, and I got I sold merchandise. I did hats and T-shirts, and like I said, it was really doing good because it was on HBO, and man,
Yeah.
everybody was calling me. Everybody was calling.
So, what is your history with comic books as a reader?
Yeah, when I was little, I used to have buy all the comic books and everything like that. We growing up, all Superman, Batman, and everything. It was real big, back where we was growing up at. So that's why I kind of wanted that comic book character.
Do you remember the first one that you read, or the one that made you want to pick up more?
The first one I read, it was a Superman. I remember I was like 8 years old, and my mother and them was going on a trip, so I went to stay with my uncle, and that's really where I got influenced because his whole garage was full of comic books.
Mm-hmm.
So he got me into the comic books and he got me into the martial arts because he used to watch Kung Fu Theater on Saturdays. So I just used to love to go over there. And that's kind of where, I kind of got into the comic books and then kind of got into the martial arts.
Okay. So I mean, comic books obviously been around for decades, but Kung Fu,
Yes.
I mean, that was a lot of people tend to think of that as more of a niche thing from the 70s.
Okay.
What about are you with Black Salt? Are you taking a more modern look to it? Are
Yes.
you harkening
Yes.
back to like the Shaw Brothers?
No, it's like a John Wick.
Okay.
Yes, it's like a John Wick. It's a modern day.
So,
I'm sorry, Chad. Go ahead.
I was going to say, kind of give us like an overview of the story and the characters.
Okay. So Samuel Tharp is Black Salt. So his father didn't come home from the Gulf War. He was growing up with his mother, in Compton. I kind of based it on myself.
Mm-hmm.
So his mother was a teacher. So she went to college with a Chinese. Her best friend was Chinese from China. So when his father didn't come back, he started to kind of get into a little mischief. So she wanted to move, and she got offered a job in China, as a teacher, teaching English and music. So, when they got there, not more than a week, they were in town, and these thugs, since she was from America, kind of start picking on her, and they end up killing her. But there was a Shaolin monk that kind of saw what was going on, and he rushed over there and he saved Sam. Sam was just a kid. So he took Sam in hiding and taught him, the martial arts, the kung fu. So he stayed there till he was 18. And and the Shaolin master had a good friend that worked for him. He was in the CIA back in America, so he kind of sent Sam, to kind of stay with him. And when he saw the skills that Sam had, he took him into the CIA.
Mhm.
and he ended up marrying his sister. Bernie Toombs was the CIA agent who took Sam in. Now, that was in the comic book. So as I went to the feature, I changed it a little bit because I had sent the script to some friends in China to tell me what they thought of it.
Yeah.
And I had the Shaolin, a Shaolin master was the villain too. And they said, "Oh no, you can't. You have to look at us in a good light. Put the Japanese and make the Japanese the villain." And I was sad about that, but once I did it, I was excited because now I brought the Yakuza and the whole Japanese portion of the for the script.
Right.
So now I got Shaolin and I got the Japanese with the Yakuza, which even made the story even better. Then I brought the Russians in too, because I kind of wanted to make it like a kind of a multicultural thing. So that's kind of how kind of how I put that together. Then I threw just a little sci-fi with the makers. So what the makers did, that they actually came from another world, but they look just like us.
Mhm.
So they created a bomb called exterminatus. It could kill any race off the face of the earth. And they
Oh,
set
wow.
they set the bomb to go off in 4 days. So now it was just it's just intense action.
Yeah.
It's intense action.
I know the log line for the series was kind of like Kung Fu meets James Bond.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I know that you took a lot of great pains to was the authenticity. It was representing the authenticity of the martial arts themselves. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, because like I said, to me, the martial arts is still a big, any movie that has martial arts in it, people kind of flog that, there's a big martial art fan in the world.
Hmm.
And so that's where I kind of wanted to have like the old days martial arts, but then bring it back to the modern day. So I put a little, going back to the Shaolin Temple, but Sam not only knows kung fu, he knows all of the modern day stuff, jujitsu and mixed martial arts and everything. Because when he came back from China and he went to the CIA, of course he learned all of that, and he was already so skilled in kung fu, for 12 years living back in China. So I kind of mixed the authenticity with then bringing it into the modern day, mixed martial arts and stuff like that.
So, I mean, you said that you've already done, you have 4 issues. What were some of the hurdles that you faced bringing this property into the comic book world? From then, how have you developed your writing and skills? Having 4 issues under your belt.
Yeah, I did pretty good. I went out and brought in some help, because like I said, that wasn't quite my forte. I kind of turned into the movie guy. So, I went and got, some friends that were into, real heavy into writing, the comic book. They helped me out a lot and things like that, and now I hooked up with an independent comic company now that they're really helping me, because like I said, when my mother passed and all of that, I kind of had to go away from the whole entertainment business. So that's why I'm kind of redoing some of the old art to
Hmm.
I brought these guys in, and man, they are excellent. They are excellent. So they're helping me. And I didn't say I have a video game demo that I want a
Yeah.
couple. Yeah. So matter of fact, the demo is on Steam right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to put all of that stuff down. So I'm going to end up coming back and finishing the demo.
Excellent.
And then of course I had some songs, some music, because that was one of my main fortes, having the record label.
So, what challenges are there with having a cross media property?
Well, right now, and I'm sure you guys know, I mean, the entertainment world sucks right now. It's contracting so fast, between from the comic books, the movies, and even the music. I mean, they ruined everything. And I tell you what ruined it was technology. Okay, like when I was doing music for 1 hour in the studio could be like $150 to $200. But as technology came, you could go to Best Buy and you can set up your little studio in your house. And see, that's where the market got flooded with all of the terrible music. And then that also happened in the film industry, where now the cameras it went to digital. So that made that, it went to digital. And then with the comics, now with the AI, and it's just like, I'm just trying to figure out what's going to happen to the whole entertainment industry as a whole.
There's definitely some evolution going on, and it's not always going to, like you said, it's not always going to be a good thing, but especially with AI. But depending on where you're coming from, what you're looking at, like the new generation of hip hop artists, they're a world away from the guys that were like popular 20 years ago. You got cats like Kendrick Lamar and Tyler the Creator, and so on and so forth, that are really doing unique things that are bringing something new to the sound. And I appreciate that quite a bit, as much as I love the old school.
Yeah. It's funny that you mentioned him, because I'm going to get him for the soundtrack.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm going to get Kendrick, and I'm going to go back and get RZA from the Wu. I'm going to get the Wu-Tang. Yeah. 'Cause I know RZA, so when you're talking about Shaolin Kung Fu, you can't go wrong with the Wu-Tang, So can you imagine? I want to do a song with Kendrick Lamar and RZA.
Well, that would be hot.
Kind of like the opening, song.
Yeah. Oh, man.
So like I said, just coming back, it's a challenge. But I think where I have is because I had already had so much of this stuff already developed. Like I have 4 issues on the comic book. I had a HBO award-winning 30-minute proof of concept. I have a video game demo that won an award, a couple of awards. So I felt, when I came back after my mother's passing, that I may have just a little leg up, because I got so much, because nobody wants to pay for development no more. That's right. Usually if you want to do a movie, they give you $250,000 to $500,000, and then you could take your time and development. These companies don't want to give up no development money for nothing.
How much of a balance is it, kind of between, the comic book, the movie, the video game? Is there a balance that you have to find to keep, things, continuity or story, kind of straight?
Yeah. And then so what I did, I played video games, but I wasn't, of course, I wasn't into video games like that. So I went and got people who that was their specialty. And, we kind of worked together to do something like that. So that's what really helped me kind of put that together like that.
And, finding is there a balance that you've found between the different media?
Yes.
I mean, do you Are you leaning heavily towards one, or just trying to keep it all in sync?
Well, you know what? Because the way the entertainment is, I'm trying to see which one is going to maybe help lead me, since I have those different product lines. I'm trying to see which one is going to lead me.
Now, is it currently funding on Kickstarter, or you launched?
Okay, right now I have a pre-launch page.
Okay.
Yes, I'm marketing is my key, and I think a lot of people, when they go on Kickstarter, they just go launch their, and you can't do that. You need to really market. So right now I'm at 512 followers. I want to get to like 750.
That's a laudable goal, and I think it's going to be achievable pretty easily.
Yes.
And do you have any experience, on Kickstarter with your comics before? Or?
Well, no. The mini feature, I raised 40,000 on Indiegogo.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I did that in 6 days. But I see that was 10 years ago. I see the difference. It's almost like I didn't even know the crowdfunding no more, because it's so much harder and so much competition. Like 10 years ago, I mean, I funded that thing in 6 days.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
But now I just see how much harder, and people don't have the money. They, like I said, the economy, and it's saturated right now. So I'm just taking my time. Everybody's in a rush, like they got a time bomb in their pocket.
Right?
Yeah, So I'm just taking my time, and just with a steady pace.
Are there any comic book writers or creators that you have taken? You feel like you've taken some influence from, or?
I basically had all of the scripts written, but before that happened to my mother, so I had kind of back then had all of that done. So just kind of getting back. I'm just kind of like I said, I had a big head start, and if that didn't happen to my mother, I think the movie would have been out already. But I look at life; things happen for a reason.
Sure.
And sometimes you just have to go with the flow.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
do you still have your connections with HBO over that time?
You know what? No, because a lot of those people got fired, and I mean, this industry, they just, I mean, the people that was there then, you can't even find them. Some of them are out of the business. I mean, just the strike and everything like that. I mean, it was brutal. But I still have some connections. I still have some connections.
So is there any active pre-development going on right now, or is that kind of contingent on what happens with this Kickstarter?
What's funny, and this is why Kickstarter is very good, because it's the marketing that you can get out of it. So I'm kind of using the Kickstarter to kind of help me, because I'm doing so much marketing for it right now. So it's kind of helping me reintroduce the brand and bring people in and stuff like that.
Right. Okay.
So I have
your background in marketing.
Yes, I got a degree in marketing. Yes.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, that's how I sold so many CDs independently. From the music. What I did, I came up with a system. Okay, so when I first put out my first CD, it was called D-Mad Clown. I dressed him up as a killer clown, and he came out of a Jack in the Box.
Nice.
So I went to Best Buy. No, it was Media Play at the time. So I asked them, I said, hey, could I put my my CDs in here on consignment? And they was like, no, we don't take independent music. So I discovered I could go to the cable company and get commercials made for $5 and $6 and $7. So like for BET and MTV. So I made one, and I bought 100 spots. So when I went back into Media Play, I showed them. Now at the time, they didn't even realize that you could get it. So man, this guy bought all of these spots. I mean, we had, so they let me in, and they gave me my listening stations and my end cap, and it just blew up. So I kind of learned marketing from making the product, packaging the product, and marketing the product.
Right.
So that's where that marketing came in. Now,
what is marketing without a product to sell?
Yeah. So also I am the COO of a metaverse platform called Meta Stadiums, and we did the first Floyd Mayweather fight in the metaverse 3 years ago. Yes. And so we're doing a lot of stuff. So we signed a deal with Bango, and they deal with all of the cell phone companies. So what I want to do is take the 30-minute and put it through T-Mobile and all that, and sell it for like $1.45, and go through the cell phone companies. So I'm trying to work out a deal with them now. If I can pull that off, and then I'll give a free comic book away to kind of free comic, and that's what I'm kind of doing now. I got the free comic that I'm giving away.
Now, is there a larger story that you hope to be able to tell, or is it
the feature? I want to do the feature.
Yeah, I mean, like even after the feature, is there like a bunch of stories you want to tell in that universe?
Oh yeah. I'll definitely want to branch out and get some more. Make the universe even bigger. But just one universe at a time.
Most definitely.
So let me ask you guys this: you guys deal with all of these comic book people. Where do you guys see the comic book market going in the next 2 to 3 years? Because really, what I was going to do is give the comic book away as a lost leader. Because I have the movie and the video game. So my whole marketing strategy from the start. I never really thought I could make any money in the comics. I thought that's a great way to get people, if you just gave them away, you could reel them in.
Well, margins are thin on comics,
from
what I understand. So I think your strategy, it seems pretty solid as long as you've got the video game and the movie like on deck. I mean, Chad, would you disagree with any of that?
No, I've been hearing for like 20 years now that comic books are dying. So eventually it's going to happen sometime, I guess.
What do you guys think? Like because you guys interview everybody, all day, every day. So where do you see how much time you think is left? Or do you think the comic book is just going to die, or what's your take on it?
I don't know. It may turn into more of a niche market.
Okay.
But there will always be people that are willing that want to follow these stories and these characters and investigate something new.
And as long as the large companies can make money off of the characters, they're going to.
Yeah, most definitely. 20 and Chad, you'll remember this, but 20 years ago when comics first started going digital, there was all kinds of doom and gloom from fans and creators that this is the end of the print industry. Comics will never be the same. It's all going to be on your computer now, et cetera, et cetera. Instead, what actually happened was it opened up a new avenue of fans that might not be inclined to go to the comic store and pick up a comic off the rack, but would be willing to read it on their laptop or tablet. So it sort of led to a more broader democratization of the fan base, in my opinion. And I think we've had a very healthy market ever since then, with customary dips here and there. But
and I think both publishers have, kind of embraced it too. Does Marvel still give the free digital codes away, or
they are? And
Okay.
on the flip side of that, and in addressing technology concerns, Jim Lee over at DC said they will never do anything with AI. Marvel is yet to follow suit in that regard, but having one of the big two companies make a public statement against AI, quote unquote, creators is huge, and it sets a precedent.
Okay, but now let me ask you this: Netflix is trying to buy Warner, which is DC. Now that could change. Just Netflix can say, "Oh, let's do AI." See, we don't know.
Yeah.
So that's what
Yeah, I mean, you never know until you know, but it's nothing is ever set in stone, as you said. So, but yeah, at least for now, we are safe at DC from AI create quote unquote content. And
I think there's even been a couple instances where some creators have been, I don't want to say accused, but it's been implied that they used AI as part of their, art, and it's been pulled.
Yeah, most definitely. So
I was treading lightly there.
No. Don't tread lightly on our show. Throw that stick of dynamite.
Oh man!
But I talked to artist Chad Harden. What was a year or 2 years ago, and he was, as an artist, he's not. And I hope I don't misquote him, but he was embracing AI for his, training. I guess training it on his art for his use. So I again, I'd have to go back and watch the interview, and I don't want to misquote him, but I think if AI does become something, then the industry will adapt, and it will decide. The consumers will decide whether they like it or not.
Yeah, most definitely.
Because see, one thing in the film industry, like back developing, this AI is really helping me out. Kind of help me develop certain things. Like I said, after I write the script, I can put it in AI and just let it do, check it and tell me some ideas and stuff like that. Like if you're using it like that instead of just saying, "Hey, write me a script," that would never work. But it's really helped me, from a development standpoint, like tightening up my synopsis and my log lines and different things like that, and even down to my budget. So I know it's going to eliminate a lot of jobs because you're just not going to need.
Well, I think a lot of the big issue is with artists is that AI samples their work and then it learns off their work and then it spits it back out.
Yeah.
And they're not getting paid for that.
Yes.
Right. So it's a very, very tricky tightrope because obviously the technology is here to stay. And it doesn't have to be used for evil. But there's a lot of unscrupulous people out there that, are
until the Terminators.
And you know what? I always think of the Terminator, man, because it seemed like, it's going to have to end up going there. This thing is going to come alive. And that's what scares me because of those old Terminator movies that when I was a kid, I used to watch.
Not to get into a big AI discussion, but it's getting harder to, AI is advancing and it's getting harder to tell it's easy if you watch a video on like the internet of, a car crash and the car just, bounces off the road and doesn't rivet.
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely.
You're right about that.
So coming back to Black Salt a little bit, as a creator, like, and how do you view yourself now as a creator versus 5.5 years ago as a creator? Like, how have you grown? How have you evolved in that time?
You know what? I think because the industry has got harder. I think I've become more strategical.
Okay.
Yes. Now everything, things to do list in the morning, and try to keep everything by the book, try to make sure everything looks good, because there's so much competition out there now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not it's smaller. They're not making as many movies as they were, or as many video games. Like the video game market just got wiped out. I mean, from 5 years ago, everybody was doing video games. It was a robust market, and now every minute, this company just walked in and laid off all of these. Like, I just like, where is this going? Where's the entertainment industry going?
I was going to say, like, and I'm not an expert on the video games market, but I know that Sony has pretty much got a stranglehold on everything now. And that's just, to me, having one dominant console is bad for business.
It is. I know I'm doing TikTok more, using more TikTok for my marketing and stuff.
Okay.
Like that. Yes.
That's a great move.
Yes.
The kids love the tickety talk.
Yes.
Make it go viral. Now, are you pulling on your musical background in your marketing of the Black Salt?
Yes, because I have about 3 songs that I made for Black Salt.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now, did you just produce them using local talent on the mic, or are you doing the whole thing?
No. I produced. I'm a producer. I didn't.
Okay.
With artists. Yeah, with artists. Yeah, I just produced it.
Awesome. Go ahead.
How I was going to say, how was it? Taking the concepts, your character concepts, and adapting them across the different media forms, how they appear, in the comic book versus, the video game versus, the film.
Well, because it was action, it was a little easier, because as long as you have your action is really tight, you could get away with some things. People want to see that action. So, it really wasn't hard to me. It really wasn't that hard. Going from the video game, from video game to comic book and everything like that, it really wasn't that bad.
What style of video game is it? Is it like a fighting game?
It's a fighting game. It's a 3D arena fighting game. Yeah, it's called Black Salt Corruption.
Okay.
Yes.
And you say it's on Steam?
It's on Steam, right? Yeah, yes. I have trailers and all of that. See, I did all of that stuff.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's impressive. I really hope that pans out.
But matter of fact, the one sheet that I sent you has links to the video game, the trailer for the movie, and stuff like that. So if you look on,
I'll make sure I include them in the article.
Okay. Yeah. You have all of that stuff on there.
Yeah. Now, how much time do you get to, I guess, spend on doing this versus, what you do in your day job, or is this your day job?
Well, like I said, because I'm the COO of Metastars, I kind of do both, and the owner is my best friend. So as long as I get the work done, and matter of fact, he's the rapper on one of the songs for Black Salt.
Really?
Yes. I mean, he's a tech genius. Like Khalif is 40. He just got back from Dubai yesterday. They flew him out there.
Oh,
like our metaverse platform. I mean, they want us to build a metaverse platform, the government of Dubai. He just got back yesterday. And like I said, what really helped us is when we did the first Floyd Mayweather fight in the metaverse. We did a metaverse for Lamborghini. We did a metaverse for a lot of companies.
Well, that Floyd Mayweather fight, I mean, that in and of itself is a huge statement.
Yes. Yeah, Floyd lives around the corner from me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm in Las Vegas. Yeah. I got Floyd this way. I got Mike Tyson that way.
Really?
Flavor Flav is right around the corner from me.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
So I got everybody, right around the neighborhood.
Yeah. Do you ever touch base with any of those old guys from Compton?
Oh yeah. I touch bases.
I was going to say, like, if you're able to parlay that friendship into marketing in some way, shape, or form, like that would be huge.
Oh no, I'm going to.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Do you have any, kung fu movies that, stick out as your favorite that influenced you or have influenced?
The 36 Chambers. That was my ultimate, and then really, like I said, the Wu-Tang Clan, because that's what really brought the whole kung fu back then when I was little. And that's when, like I said, the Bruce Lee and the whole 9 yards, we just went crazy on that back then.
Right.
So what I'm trying to do is bring that back with the modern day. Just a little twist. So that way I get the older generation and I get the younger generation.
Right.
So that's why I'm gonna mix that soundtrack.
Mm.
With younger and some old heads, and just get that cross, marketing.
That cross-generational vibe.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Now, what and if you don't want to give away, if it's what is that? I don't know. What is that concept that bridges the old with the new?
Just kind of putting them together. Like if you saw RZA on a song with Kendrick Lamar, I mean, that would be like instant magic right there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how I'm going to, I'm going to kind of do that. And like I said, in the movie, you got your modern day, but I show flashes of that old, the old days a little bit.
Okay.
That respect and everything, in the temple and stuff like that.
So, when does the Kickstarter for the comic launch?
I'm going to launch the Kickstarter in the next 60 days because what I want to do, because like I said, I'm a marketing guy. I'm real close to possibly getting a deal for the feature.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
So my partner that did the mini feature with me, Ed, his partner is Ozzy, and Ozzy ran Tyler Perry Studio for 10 years. He was the president. So Ozzy just got a movie deal, and he's interested in doing Black Salt as a first feature. So I'm just crossing my fingers, and I'll know
A lot can happen.
And I'll know within the next like 30 to 40 days. So can you imagine, I would do a deadline article,
Mm-hmm.
and that would just blow the comic book thing up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So between that and, a actor and a director that I'm talking to, if I can sign them or get them aboard, that would just help my Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just kind of, I'm kind of, like I said, it made me more strategical.
Kind of moving pieces into place, and then when the moment is, you lock them all together.
Yes.
Yes. Love to hear that. Love to hear it. So let's zoom out a little bit into the broader world of Black Salt, because it's got a lot of cool things happening. It's got the martial arts. It's got strong female characters. It's got the James Bond flavor to it. You mentioned that you potentially would want to tell more stories in this world. Do you kind of see like leaning more into the James Bond spy CIA type thing for future stories, or would you want to tell more stories with Sam Tharp?
Yeah, I would tell more like his adventures.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the next movie, I was already thinking that he goes to Africa, and his father. He finds out that his father is not dead.
Oh.
He finds out that his father is in the dungeon, you know, because he was in the war.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so now I'm just going to let my mind just, you know, kind of like the adventures of Samuel Thorpe in a sense.
Now, don't let it turn into Shaft in Africa. Okay.
No. I see that one.
Walked right into that.
Yeah. And then, you know, I tell you who I'm really interested. You know who Donnie Yen is, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm interested in him playing Yubai Shek, which is Sam's teacher.
Mm-hmm.
So, and like I said, my kung fu brother, he's real good because he was in that Donnie Yen camp for stunts fighting.
Oh, really?
Yes. So if I can get this deal with Ozzy, I'm going to go right. You know, I can get to him right away because he's good friends with his sister, Chrissy.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, man, if I can get Donnie in, that would really, you know.
Yeah, that would be huge.
Yes.
And
then I have a character. She's a villain. Her name is Horse Ripper, and she's blind. And everybody, you know, from the mini feature, everybody loved the character. So I would like to spin, you know, like I would spin some people off and stuff like that.
Right on. Yeah. I mean, a healthy world with well-rounded supporting characters, you can do anything you want.
Yes.
in that nature. And I mean, since you own the whole thing, it's your game.
You get to create your own sandbox.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, like I said, my partner, you know, with the whole tech, see, he's really helping me too. You know, like in the metaverse and stuff like that. So we're gonna start doing some things like that, you know, too.
Right on.
So, like I said, I'm just excited, you know, because if you know, when my mother had passed, like I had just put it on the shelf, and I didn't even think I didn't even want to do it no more.
Right.
But
sure,
she was she saw the joy that it brought me. So I said, you know, I'm doing this. So I'm dedicating this to her. And that's where my dedication is on trying to get this thing done. Because, you know, it's hard because the whole entertainment it's just gotten hard because it's all about the money. It's all about the money.
Yeah. Well, and so many things are shifting on a day. It seems like a daily basis. I mean, like you mentioned, Netflix wanting to acquire Warner Brothers, or you know, some of that chicanery, and there's just all these huge mergers and deals and backdoor deals and who's supporting what, and it gets complicated.
Yeah.
So, Chad, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say I know the Kickstarter's not you know, out yet, but before we wrap up, if you want to give a, you know, final pitch, you should you know.
Oh, you saying for the Kickstarter?
Yeah.
Or for the Kickstarter for Black Salt for.
Oh yes. You know, yeah. To all the fans and people out there, you can get a free comic book. You know, so you guys can look at, you know, what it looks like before. If you guys want to fund or anything like that, and I would love, you know, your support in helping me relaunch this brand because I think it could be big.
Yeah, most definitely. Awesome. Well, and just so we know, when does the next Kickstarter launch? Just to reiterate it out there.
Oh, okay, you said the next one,
or the current one? The most recent one?
Okay, the one that's right. Oh, okay, it'll launch in about 60 days.
Okay.
He's got pieces; they got to come together.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let you guys know for sure. And
Yeah.
the only reason why I don't know is because a couple of those strategical moves that I'm kind of like, it could happen next week,
right?
Or it could take a little bit. So I'm not in a big. I mean, it's going to happen within the next 60 days. Let me just say that.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yes.
Well, we will be there, ready to help you get the word out then too.
Okay.
Yeah, most definitely. We'll have it in our weekly Kickstarter round or crowdfunding roundup. Excuse me, the corner.
Okay.
Yes.
It goes live, so
I appreciate
you can bank
that.
on that.
I appreciate that. And if you guys gave me your address, I'll send you guys a DVD if you wanted it.
Sure.
Yeah,
I'm always down for.
And I keep you abreast, as things,
Mhm.
popped off. I'll send you guys an email, and dealing with Donnie Yen and all of them.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Because with Ozzy interested, who used to, run Tyler Perry's, if he steps in, I mean, this thing is gonna just fly.
It's going to blow up, and it sounds like it deserves to.
Yes.
So,
yes.
And then we'll have and then we'll have you back either way.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'd appreciate that. To give you guys a update on everything.
Yeah.
And out of all of the things, I would be looking forward more to the soundtrack, because I used to have fun in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
Being there till 4 a.m, mixing and stuff like that. Back then it seemed like torture, but now I realize how much fun I used to have.
Yeah, you look back and it's some of the best times of your life.
Some of the best times of my life.
All right. Well, thank you.
You want to let him give where people can find him on the socials and stuff like that?
Oh, what's funny? They can find me on Facebook. They can find me on LinkedIn. Like I said, since this is my first one, I didn't know what I was supposed to have, so I'm kind of just winging this thing.
Hey, that's all right.
Okay.
I wing it every week.
Okay. So I don't feel as bad, I don't
Not at all. It sounds to me like you've got a lot of plates in the air, or lots of plates spinning, but you got it going on, and you got them balanced. So
yeah, I get up at 5 every morning and do my workout, do my do my training, and then I already have my things to do list. I do that every night, and I just sit right down and I get to work.
That's how you do it.
Yep, that's how we do it.
All right. Well, the Kickstarter is Black Salt. It's kicking off here in the next 40 to 60 days for issue 5. You can check out issues 1 through 4 now. And the current goal, future goal, I should say, is going to be a hardcover collecting the first 6 issues, plus the video game, plus the fingers crossed feature film.
And don't forget the short film.
Get in on the ground floor of this deal, because Owen Ratliff's got a lot of cool things going on.
Yes.
So, Chad, who do we have that we're talking to next week?
No guest as of right now for next week. Maybe we'll do another top 5.
Okay, topic. I'll come correct this time with actual 5 topics. So,
hey, I appreciate you guys having me on too.
Absolutely, man. We appreciate your time. I know you're a busy man. So, all right, everybody. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for supporting comic-watch.com, where your favorite place for fandom news and pro reviews. And having said that, just get out there and do some good in the world, because we need it. Thank you, and we will see you next time.